Can Fujifilm X100VI replace a Leica Q3 camera? Let's talk about this now. Hi there, Tudor Matescu here. In this video I want to share with you my opinions regarding Fujifilm X100VI as an everyday camera, as a travel camera, as a family camera, as a street photography camera versus Leica Q3. Can Fujifilm compete with Leica Q3? Can Fujifilm replace Leica Q3? So, I have these two cameras and I'm shooting Leica Q3 for 2 months at least and X100 series for over 10 years. So I know this X100VI system because I would call it a system because you have adapters to it. And when you will mount the Viltrox 28mm adapter or the Fujifilm adapter, you'll get the 28mm field of view with your Fujifilm X100VI, and we can call this a mini Leica Q3. I would definitely call this a mini Leica Q3 without any problems. Because the image quality, it is good. Of course, it's not comparable to the Leica Q3 lens. It's not comparable, but it's good. You can obtain very nice images and portraits with this combo. Of course, not replacing Leica. But regarding usability in hand, you'll get a very nice portable camera, very nice, that I really like a lot. Having a tilt screen, having an optical viewfinder, having a flash that will hit the front element, so you need to add an extra flash if you want to use a flash. But overall, very similar to Leica, but image quality, of course, it will not compare, but it's not bad. Again, not bad. On the other side, Leica it's a little bit heavier. This is a little bit lighter and you aren't forced to put the Viltrox adapter, so you can keep it small and packetable. This you can't keep it small and packetable. Very important. This isn't small and packetable, so you need a small camera bag, but also for this, yes, I'm using a small camera bag. And very interesting, in the small camera bag, even with the Viltrox or without the Viltrox, the weight it's the same in the end. Of course, this is a little bit heavier, but still portable. So I'm not feeling it heavy as a Leica M camera or as a Nikon Z camera with a heavier lens. No, it is portable and it is light on you at the limit, but still light. So you can use it as travel without any problems. So let's talk about this chapter, travel photography. Which one? Well, for me, if I don't want to worry about my camera, still X100VI, it is winning it, I would say. How I've said in my older videos, X100VI, it's a great travel camera. So if I don't want to worry about camera, about hitting the camera, about taking care of the camera, having 2 kids and not being in the mood, I will still opt out for X100VI. X100VI, it is the first camera that comes to mind. Let's be serious. It is easy for you to take it. It is easy for you to protect it. It is very easy to integrate this camera in your travel photography. Very easy. Because the camera, it is tough, not like a fragile Ricoh GR4 camera. So tough camera, it can take hits without any problems, weather sealed and weather resistant. So you don't worry with this camera. You can take it with you in the train, you can take it with you at your table. So it's easy. It's easy to use it and to incorporate this camera in your travel. Very easy. So if you have family, kids, small kids and so on, this is easier for you to incorporate it. And it really matters. So it really matters that you can take this camera and incorporate it. Again, you aren't forced to put the Viltrox adapter to have the 28mm field of view, just if you want that field of view. And also it is easy to incorporate the camera with the Viltrox adapter, the 28mm field of view. So very easy. This isn't bad. I'm not saying that this is hard to incorporate. It's not hard, but it's at the limit. So it's possible the camera, it will take some scratches. Of course, you can protect the camera with some wrapping or with some small weak grip and so on. But being a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, yes, it's possible to take some scratches and also it will be a little harder to incorporate the camera. Now, on the other side, very important, this camera seems big because of the lens hood. But if I will take down the lens hood, look here, it is pretty small. Believe me, it is small. Yes, the lens is fat, but it doesn't matter because we will talk about image quality. So, anyway, you can incorporate it. It's not bad, but I must really address the fact that X100VI, it's a little bit lighter, and definitely it will be easier for you to incorporate X100VI in your travel photography. Now let me address a little the family photography and after this portraiture photography. So for family photography, which one? Again, this is easier for you, easy with nice JPEGs and small JPEGs, and this can matter if you don't want to overload your computer, but also this is very easy to incorporate for your family photography with pleasing JPEGs. I can't decide at this moment which I like more, but both are very good for family photography. Yes, they are good. Now let's talk about portraiture photography. So for portraiture photography, both are delivering very interesting results. So X100VI is very capable for portraiture photography if you'll get up close, and also it will work with the 28mm for portraiture photography. But this is stellar for portraiture photography. Yes, it is stellar for portraiture photography without any question. So when it comes to portraiture photography, this was the main reason why I bought this, because this in general, even if it's good, it can work for family and for people. The images will not impress automatically like this lens and body. When you'll make portraits with this lens and body, you'll automatically impress your subject because it is shining. The lens, how it's rendering, it's a special lens. So very important, this lens compared to this lens, this is 5x, 10x better than the X100VI lens without any question. Very important. And this is where the problem begins, I would say, when we are thinking that this is 10x better and it doesn't cost 10x more than Fujifilm X100VI. This is where the problems are beginning, because again, this costs 3x more than X100VI, and in the end it's offering you 10x, 15x more than X100VI, to be brutally honest here. So this was another reason why I've decided in the end to pull the trigger for Leica Q3. Yes, Leica Q3 can replace and is replacing my X100VI, is replacing my Fujifilm X-E5 with lots of lenses. So Fujifilm X-E5 with 3-4 lenses plus this, it costs as much as this, and this is 10x better than both of Fujifilm X100VI and X-E5 regarding image quality. But regarding color, and if you want to play with film simulations, of course you are bulletproof here. So in conclusion, which camera to get? It is very simple. Get the camera that it's in your budget. Get the camera that it's in your budget. If you are thinking about Leica Q3 and you are limited with your budget, you can buy it, but it's overkill. How a commenter said on my first video regarding Leica Q3, buy once, cry once, and enjoy forever. So something like this it is with the Leica Q3. Buy it once, cry once for how much you'll pay, and start enjoying it forever. Because yes, I would say that nothing touches Leica Q3 regarding image quality and what you can do with it. This is a Swiss knife camera. This is good, it's compact, it is very friendly regarding travel photography, and it's a no-brainer for many users. Because from my point of view, even if I compare here X100VI to Leica Q3, it's not the camera to compare X100VI. X100VI must be compared with Leica GR4, with X-E5, and so on. And for this I've made some videos, you can check them out. But long story short, between all these alternatives of X100VI, I still do believe that X100VI is on the first place compared to Leica GR4 and X-E5 for travel photography, because it is X100VI and I'm a big fan of X100VI. But regarding money and budget, if you are starting to collect Fujifilm cameras and if you aren't 100% into the Fujifilm ecosystem fanboy, so you are a die-hard fan of film simulations and of how the APS-C sensor is rendering and the X-trend sensor and stuff like this, and you are okay but not totally okay, then Leica Q3 it's a smart update, because it's still small, portable, and very extraordinary capable. So yes, both two cameras are good, and of course this is better, but also X100VI, it is very good in its own category, and I'll say it's the number one in its category. But it doesn't compare to the Leica Q3 in the end. Now, as a last thought, I'm still not departing from my X100VI. I can't say why, but I still want to have X100VI with me. I do feel that even if okay, I'm okay with Leica Q3. It is something about this X100VI that I don't want to get rid of it. And any X100 camera, really any X100 camera, from X100V to X100VI, all X100 cameras are really amazing cameras and cameras that I would keep in my collection if I would have the chance to do this. Really extraordinary cameras that, yes, can be collectible because each X100 has its own personality and its own way of rendering images. So if you're liking content like this, please subscribe now to my channel, leave me your comments, share this video, like this video, also use my affiliate links from the comments and description. And what is free and is helping this channel to grow, it is to watch my next videos. Thank you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.